It's the Bud Night.
It's the Bud Night. We're saved.
Yes.
Dilly dilly!
Hey everyone! Sorry I'm late. I was getting my nails done. Oh, I just remembered. I need to get some tampons. What the f?
What is going on, everybody? It's Wired here, and I'm back once again to talk about Bud Light, since it is a day that ends in Y. And if you're like me, you're probably really sick of this woke movement that is infecting all our companies. It's taking over our schools. It's taking over Congress. There's political activism about it in the streets. And women are getting their rights yanked away from them left and right, in locker rooms, in sports teams, in their own bathrooms. And the best example of this woke ideology coming back to bite somebody is definitely with Anheuser-Busch. Now, if you don't know, I'll give a really quick recap, because I'm sure you do know. I've done a ton of videos on this. About a month ago now, Bud Light made the brilliant, genius decision, 200 IQ move to sponsor trans activist Lord Voldemort. I can't say Voldemort's name, she who must not be named, because YouTube will shadow ban me. And this is not just a thing with me, it's a thing with everybody. We're no longer allowed to talk about this. So we have to do it in code, which is really messed up, because apparently YouTube doesn't like the whole First Amendment, or they don't like the fact that people have, opinions that might not align with their belief system. And it really kind of makes me think, who is protecting this person? It really, really makes you think. However, I got an article here I want to read for you. It kind of just speaks to the current state of Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light, where they are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. If they roll back their claims and they, make an apology, they will alienate the left. If they do nothing, this boycott seems like it's going to keep chugging on from the right and from the moderates. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they are really suffering right now. I've seen some things that say they're down 70% market capital, market value, and it looks like it's only going to get worse for them. But let's get into the article here. Bud Light wanted to market to all. Instead, it's alienating everyone. Picture of Howard Stern. I'm not really a fan of Howard Stern, but from CNN, which take this with a grain of salt. For years, Bud Light leaned on jokey ad campaigns and its designation as a light beer to push sales. But recently, interest in beers have faltered, and beer brands have had to rethink their offerings and marketing strategies to reach new audiences. Okay, son. Now, Bud Light finds itself seeking younger drinkers, and that's problematic in itself, and stumbling through America's polarized landscape in the process. Yes, they got involved in political affairs. They shouldn't have done that. They inserted themselves in this whole trans movement. And now they are suffering the consequence for it by their stock completely tanking. Do I think it's going to be the end for them? Probably not. They're a huge company. They're probably too big to fail. However, they're definitely feeling the sting for this, and they're a month out, and it looks like this boycott is showing no signs of stopping. The brand sponsorship on April 1st Instagram post by Dark Wizard, Lord Voldemort, set off a firestorm of Dark Wizard backlash and calls for a boycott. The company first responded with a straightforward explanation of its relationship with social media influencers, but later it released a milquetoast statement from the CEO, which angered both sides and made changes in its management structure, suggesting that there had been some sort of miscommunication about how to market the brand, which I think is total BS. Alyssa Heinerschneit, the VP of marketing, came out and said she was responsible pretty much for the ad campaign. And then later on, they said, oh, no, actually, we don't know who's responsible for it. It was not approved through any of the higher-ups, which I think is total BS. And a company like Anheuser-Busch, I highly doubt somehow this could skirt around people and they could actually put somebody's face on a can and, that would just somehow be ignored by everybody in marketing or everybody in CEO positions. I don't believe it at all. Total pandering move. Don't buy it. Bud Light is not alone in struggling to reach some audiences without offending others. Customers increasingly want to feel like the products they buy represent their values. But those values are often opposed, creating a tricky situation for advertisers who want to convince everyone that their product is right for them. And they went about it the wrong way. Quote, there are two trends that are colliding, unquote, said Daniel Korshan, associate professor of marketing at Drexel University. People are much more interested than ever before in the underlying values of brands. And at the same time, there's the political polarization of the country. Some brands are able to walk the line or pick a side and stick with it. Bud Light failed on both counts. Bud Light misunderstood their ability to reach out to a new target market and the backlash they would face with some segment of their current market. CEO's response, they did this half step backwards, which doesn't satisfy their existing market. Meanwhile, this market they're trying to appeal to sees this as an inauthentic move. And so they end up in a position where they've satisfied nobody. Exactly. They walk, is what I just said. They walk back the claims, they offend the left. If they keep going without a real apology, they offend the right. And even if they do come out with a really good apology, which I don't even know how they would do, they're still going to be screwed. They shouldn't have done this in the first place. Well, you don't put woke people in these marketing positions. Marketing is very important. You want to market stuff, the way to do it, you want to gain more customers without alienating your current customers. They have failed on all fronts. Controversy started with yada yada yada. We all know, with activist Lord Voldemort, and the CEO spoke out. We already know this, and Whitworth, he is, I think, it wasn't Whitworth who's been let go. Alyssa Heinerschneit, the person above her, maybe it was Whitworth. And now there's been a marketing team shakeup and all this. Two marketing vice presidents, Alyssa Heinerschneit of Budlight and Daniel Blake of Anheuser-Busch, taking leaves of absences, which is a fancy way of saying where we, you guys have lost us, about $11-12 billion. But we can't outright fire you because that would piss off the left, because we weren't a political company, but now we decided to get political, and now we don't know which way to turn. Which is really a shame. Really is. Scroll down here, stay in the course. For Bud Light, the problem wasn't partnering with Voldemort, but failing to show supporters that it was willing to stand behind Voldemort when Voldemort was targeted. It makes a world of sense to partner with Voldemort to reach a younger audience, a more diverse audience. I'm going to completely 100% disagree on that. I don't think it makes any sense to insert yourself into the trans movement when you're a beer company. You're getting political, you're picking sides for no reason, and now you've alienated audience. Miller's Light, Coors Light, they're over there. They got to be cheering up a storm. But as you can see from this article here, this is giving a play-by-play of what's happening. It's saying that there's still nothing they can really do, and I totally agree with it. I think they're going to just keep failing, and only time is really going to eliminate this issue. Budweiser made a very stupid move. They never should have got political. They never should have inserted themselves in this trans ideology, since it's a very polarizing thing. And now that they've done that, they don't know which way to turn. And this boycott's working. It's probably the most successful conservative boycott we've seen. I know people try to boycott Maybelline, Nike. And I don't know how well those things are going. I probably should do a couple videos on that, research it a little more. I know initially people were pissed off. But this boycott is the most substantial thing we've seen from conservatives in years, maybe ever. And I am totally here for it. I love seeing Bud Light fail because they've done it to themselves. They deserve their failure. Buy Coors Light, buy Miller Lite, buy Yuengling. Buy anything that is not super woke, because it's hard to find something that's not at least a little woke. Everything's a little woke these days. Anyway, that's all I got. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps out with the algorithm. If you listened this long, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you all in the next one. Later.